Hey everybody, this is Splat, and this is a video tutorial on how to use BetterCrewLink to set up proximity chat with Among Us. This video is going to take two parts. The first part is going to be how to install BetterCrewLink and how to use it, and the second part is going to be how to easily set up your own private voice chat server if you find yourself needing one. Just check out the timestamps below to skip ahead to the part that you need. So buckle on up everybody, let's get this show on the road. Proximity chat is a tool that allows you to speak with people that you are playing with, but unlike Discord, where everybody hears everybody all the time unless you mute yourself, proximity chat allows you to hear people as you get close to them, and then as you move farther away from each other, the voice gets softer, and eventually you can't hear any longer. When somebody calls a meeting, the proximity chat is also going to bring everybody together so that you can talk to each other. This proximity chat that we're talking about today also puts players who have died into their own chat channel so that they can talk to each other and still participate and use proximity chat without giving away secrets to the players who are still alive. So the most stable version of proximity chat that I have found is an app called BetterCrewLink. You're going to want to begin by going and downloading the BetterCrewLink app from GitHub. I'll put a link in the description below, and make sure that you get the newest version that they have available. At the time of this recording, it is 2.8.0, but as the BetterCrewLink team are quite good about keeping it updated for the newest versions of Among Us as they come out, I'm sure that's going to be changing in the future. All right, so once you're on the official website, you're going to go ahead and look for the download section. Go ahead and download from GitHub. You don't need to download from one of the other sites if you don't want to. The GitHub one will work for you, and you know that you're always getting the most up-to-date and safe version of the app. So go ahead and left-click on that, and your download will begin. If you're using Chrome, your download's going to be down at the bottom where they pop up. I'm currently on Firefox, and so I'm going to look up here in my downloads menu, and when that's done, we're going to go ahead and check out the app and get it going. All right, so I have finished downloading BetterCrewLink. It didn't take very long. It's not a very big file, so you should be good to go. And I've gone ahead and thrown the icon on my desktop just so I can show it to you guys, but you don't have to do this if you want to. You can just go to your downloads folder and double click on the BetterCrewLink setup file. It's going to ask you if you want to install. Go ahead and hit run. It's going to start installing. And when it's finished, you should see BetterCrewLink automatically opening on your screen. Now, it says it's waiting for Among Us. I have Among Us installed via Steam. Depending on what service you're using to run Among Us, you can go ahead and choose which one you have down here. I'm going to go ahead and hit this Steam button, and it should open the game for me automatically. I'm using a second monitor, so let me just pull it over here so you can see what we're doing. And sure enough, here is Among Us, and it is running right now. When people begin joining your lobby, you are going to be seeing their icons appear in the BetterCrewLink window. Anybody who has an icon in your window means that they're part of your lobby. As people begin to join your lobby, you're going to see them appearing in the BetterCrewLink window. If you see their icon and they don't have any warning symbols over their icon, it means that they have successfully connected to your lobby and are part of your game, and you should be able to hear each other when you're speaking. There are going to be times, though, when you see somebody join your lobby. And when they join your lobby, BetterCrewLink is either not going to be running or something's not going to be set up correctly. If that happens, you're going to see a little warning icon appear over their face. That means that BetterCrewLink has recognized they're part of your game lobby, but they're not part of your chat server. You won't be able to hear each other if that's the case. So let's explore some of the BetterCrewLink settings that are available to you. When people join your game and they join the lobby, you're going to see their icon appear here in the BetterCrewLink main window. It doesn't matter if they have BetterCrewLink installed or not, their icon will show up here because BetterCrewLink is simply reading the game lobby. If they have a little red network symbol over their player icon, that means BetterCrewLink has not connected successfully to the voice server. There could be a whole variety of reasons why that's happening, and it could be that they simply don't have BetterCrewLink open and running. If you see a little red icon that has a speaker picture on it, that means you probably have them muted yourself, and you can change this by mousing over their icon, and you can move their volume slider back and forth to make them as loud or as quiet as you want, or you can click on the little speaker icon to mute and unmute players. Sometimes the little icon will still remain, and that's because they have muted themselves or they're having microphone problems on their end. If you click on the little cog in the top left corner, you can open up the other settings that are useful for BetterCrewLink. You have lobby settings where you can set the distance that you can be heard in the game. You can choose whether or not your lobby is public. You can choose whether or not walls in the game will block audio, or if you want to be able to hear people through the walls. You can hear people when they're in line of sight. You can check a little box here that allows the imposters to hear the dead, which is kind of fun because it allows the ghosts to haunt the people that have killed them. You can check a box that allows imposters to be heard when in the vents. You can set up private chat in the vents for players. You can set it up so that proximity chat gets disabled if the imposters can sabotage the comms. You can set it to where you hear through the security cameras in the game. You can give the imposters radios so they can talk to each other even when they're not in range. You can check a box that allows only the ghost to hear and talk, and you can set so that proximity chat only activates when you're in a meeting or in a lobby before you start a game. You have your audio settings down here where you simply will scroll through and find your default microphone that you're using and choose that one. On the speakers, you're going to do the same thing. Whatever your output is on your computer, go through and check that, and then you can use the test speaker button to make sure that it actually works. You can set up BetterCrewLink to basically use a sound gate for your voice so that when you're speaking, it will open your audio channel so that other players can hear you, but when you're not speaking and sounds do not reach a high enough decibel level, it will not activate your microphone and other players don't have to listen to your chair squeak or your mouse slide around and click. You can also choose a push to talk, which basically means you have to push a button on your keyboard or a button on your mouse to open up your audio channel so people can hear you. And on the other side, you can set it up to where your audio channel is always open, no matter what happens, but if you push a button, then it will mute and turn off your microphone. You have your microphone volume and your microphone sensitivity settings here. You have the crew volume when you're a ghost, and you have the master volume for everybody in the game. But please remember that you can set individual people to individual volumes in the main window by mousing over their icon. This is especially useful if somebody has a more sensitive microphone than someone else, and you just want to be able to balance that out yourself. Here you can set your keyboard shortcuts for all the different tools that you're going to be using in the game. Scrolling down, you will see the overlay settings. If you click BetterCrewLink on top, this box right here is always going to be on top of your game, even if you're playing in full screen. This could be useful if you're worried about how it's set up and you're trying to test and you want to just make sure that everybody's always connected. I don't do this because I find the box gets in the way, and BetterCrewLink is so stable, it hasn't really been an issue for us. If you click this one here, enable the overlay, you can see on my main Among Us window that I have two people in my lobby, and you can see them on this overlay. There's a little green circle over myself because, as you can see, I am the one talking, and so that's what that means. And if I stop talking for a second, you saw just there that the green circle turned off. If you use the compact overlay, it's not going to show everybody in the lobby here in the main overlay. It's only going to show the person who is talking. And if more than one person is talking, it will show multiple icons. You can also select a meeting overlay, which means that when you are in one of the sessions where you're voting on who the imposter is, the meeting overlay will put a little yellow circle over the icon of the person who is talking so that you can see that active as well. You can choose where on your screen the overlay is and if the overlay is persistent or not. In the advanced settings area, there is a little checkbox here that might be useful for you if you are troubleshooting connection problems. Some people are going to be playing Among Us in places where they do not have access to the router and they cannot control how it's set up and how ports are forwarded and what's open and what's not open and all those different things. If you find that you're playing out of like a university or a school or something and you're not able to connect to BetterCrewLink and not get the voice servers to work, you can try clicking the NAT box, and sometimes that's going to fix the problem. The downside is that you will get a little bit more latency using the NAT fix, but I have not found that to really be an issue at all. I suppose it could be more noticeable if you're on the world's worst connection, but most of us don't play there. Changing the voice server is not something that you're going to need to do because BetterCrewLink has a default server already set up and that server works very well. However, some people like to have their own private voice server just because they think it's more stable. I use a private voice server because I play Among Us with people who are all over the world. We actually have people from Asia, people from Australia, people from the North America, and people from Europe who all join into games. I have my own private server set up just because I found that there's less latency and we get a more stable connection. That has nothing to do with the quality of BetterCrewLink, and if you're playing in North America, the BetterCrewLink default server is going to work for you just fine. If you wait until the end of this video, I will show you one way that you can set up your own private server, so stick around for that. Under beta and debugging, you really aren't going to have to mess with any of this to get it to work. You can try turning these on and off to troubleshoot if you find BetterCrewLink is crashing for some reason, or it's freezing up, or it's just not working. But before you start doing that, I would recommend just checking out the Discord server that is available on the BetterCrewLink GitHub page and just asking some questions there, and people will be more than happy to help you out to get things sorted. So that's going to wrap up everything that you need to know on how to install and use BetterCrewLink if you're going to be using the default BetterCrewLink server for your voice chat. That is what I would recommend you do, and only go to a private server if you have a special need or you have a specific problem that pops up. But if you do want to make a private server, I'm going to show you one specific way that you can do that, so let's get stuck right in. As we get ready to move on into setting up your own private server, if you found this video helpful and you've learned something, I'd really appreciate it if you'd give me a like. Maybe even subscribe for further content, and leave a comment down below if you have any questions, and we'll see what we can do to help you out. So first you're going to head back over to GitHub, where we can find a builder that's going to automatically put together our server for us. All of the links for these sites are going to be in the description below, so just head on down there and check it out, and you should be able to get to where you need to go. If we go to the automated CrewLinkServer page and we scroll down, we will find Deploy to Heroku. Heroku is a site that's going to host our server for us and give us everything that we need to run it and share it with other people. If you don't have a Heroku account, you're going to need to be creating one for this. So you can go ahead and head over to Heroku and create your account now, or just click on the Deploy to Heroku button. If you don't have an account, it'll ask you to create one, and if you do have one, it'll ask you to log in. So I'm going to hit that button and I'll see you guys at Heroku. So I already have a Heroku account, so I just logged in, and this is where we are at right now. You're going to have to give your app a name, and you're going to have to choose a region. The regions that you have are the United States and Europe. I'm going to click on United States, and you're going to have to give it a name. So I'm just going to call mine Splat Among Us, and I'm going to hit deploy app. All right, it has been about 3 minutes since I hit deploy app, and it could go faster or slower for you depending on how busy things are. But if you see all of these little green check marks over on the right, everything has worked. I have done this several times and I've never seen a failure. So if you do see one, maybe you can leave a comment down below and somebody can help you out, or head over to the GitHub page and check out their Discord, and you can ask questions there. Once you have it installed, you're going to go ahead and click on Manage App, and that's going to take you to your dashboard. Your dashboard's going to look a little bit different than mine because I have little blurred boxes everywhere to hide some of my personal information. However, when you're here, everything is pretty much all ready to go. However, there is one error that I have discovered with this uploader. There is one thing that we have to do to make this work. Normally, when you're in this desktop, you would just click on Open App, but if I do that now, you're going to see something that happens. I'm going to get an application error. And if you go through and look at your logs, you're going to see that there's actually a variable missing in this uploader. It didn't used to do this. I'm not sure what changed, but let me show you how to fix that. You're going to go to Settings, and you're going to scroll down here to where you have the config variables. Config VARS. Click on Reveal the config variables, and here you're going to have a key and a value. Basically, we just have to add in a variable that's missing. For this variable, all you need to do is give it the title address. On the right box, you're going to have your app name .herokuapp.com, and I do not literally mean type your app name. What I literally mean here is whatever you named your app, you need to put that in. And if you scroll to the top, you'll see the name of your app here next to this little purple shape. I called mine Splat Among Us, so I would come down here and I would type and I would hit add, and then you see that the key and the value have been input. Go up to more and just restart all your dynos. Once you've restarted everything, you can go back to overview and click on the little button here that says open app. It's going to open a new tab. Your CrewLink server is going to pop up. It says this CrewLink server is running on splat-amongus.herokuapp.com. There are currently 0 connected users. That's because I'm not playing the game, but as you play the game, you will see that number go up with the number of people who are playing on your voice server. One thing you'll want to remember with Heroku, it's a free service, but only for a limited amount of time. So I don't remember how much it is, but I think it's like 50 to 100 hours of actual uptime that you can use for this app before it's not going to work anymore. The nice thing is that the timer only ticks when you're actually playing, so you're going to have to put that much game time in using the server for the timer to go down. So in order to access this server that you just made, go to Change Voice Server in the BetterCrewLink settings and scroll down to Voice Server, and in this box, you're just going to copy and paste this address right there, and you're going to hit confirm. Everybody who's using this voice server that you're playing with is going to have to do the same thing, and they're all going to have to connect to it by putting that link in. Make sure that you don't share this link with anybody that you don't want to have it, because people will be able to access and use your server anytime it's up and running. So that's about everything that you need to know for setting up your own private voice server for BetterCrewLink. Like I said previously in the video, this is something that you will only need to do if you actually have a need for it. The default server that BetterCrewLink runs on is perfectly fine, and for 99.9999% of the people who play this game and want to use proximity chat, that's going to be all you need. However, if for some reason you do find yourself in need of a private server, this is one way you can do it. Well, I hope that was helpful for everybody, and remember, if you have any questions, please leave a comment down below and we'll see what we can do to help you out. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.